I still get asked a lot, which is the best app to use? I use the Driving Test Success app, otherwise known as the 4-in-1. I'm not saying it's the best app out there. I'm saying that's the one that I use that gives me the best results for my students in the classroom. So in this video, I'm going to do a 20 question mock test. I'm going to break the answers down as I normally do, give you hints, tips along the way, depending on what question comes up. So stay with me. Let me jump onto my iPad and let's study together. You arrive at the scene of a crash where someone is bleeding heavily from a wound in their arm. Nothing is embedded in the wound. What could you do to help? Dab the wound? No. Walk them around and keep them talking? No. Apply pressure to the wound. That's what you want to do. Try to stem the blood flow is what you're trying to do, and give them a drink. You should never give anyone a drink at the scene of an accident. What does this sign mean? Triangles, you should know, are warnings. So that should be a snowflake. So it's a risk of ice, a risk of snow, something along those lines. So 6 roads converge, no. Multi-exit roundabout, no. Place of historical interest, no. Risk of ice, yes. Which vehicle might have to take a different course from normal at a roundabout? That's going to be a lorry or some kind, because they got to swing out to swing round. So that's what we're looking for. Van, no. Sports car, no. A long vehicle, yes. Estate car, no. You're on a motorway. When can you use hazard warning lights? The reason why people use hazard warning lights on the motorway is to let people know they're slowing down. There's normally a problem ahead of some kind. Sometimes in broad daylight, the brake lights, even though they're red, don't show up too well. So they use hazard lights as a full safe, if that makes sense. Right, when a vehicle is following too closely, no. When you slow down quickly because of a danger ahead, yes. When you're driving on a hard shoulder, no. When you're being towed by another vehicle, no. What does this sign mean? If you didn't know, all brown signs are tourist signs. That's your campsites, special events, football grounds, that type of thing. So beware of trams, no. Tourist attractions, yes. Beware of trains, no. Level crossings, no. When should you use the right-hand lane of a 3-lane dual carriageway? When should you use the right-hand lane of a 3-lane dual carriageway? Be very careful with this. They can ask the same question, but it's a motorway question. If it's a motorway question, when can you use the right-hand lane of a motorway? It's just for overtaking. Because it's a dual carriageway question, it's for overtaking and turning right. So that's what we're looking for. When you're overtaking, only no. When you're turning right, only no. When you're overtaking or turning right, yes. When you're using cruise control, no. What's the purpose of these road markings? To enable teachers to have clear access to the school, no. To ensure delivery vehicles have easy access to the school, no. To ensure children can see and be seen when they're crossing the road, yes. Safety. To enable parents to pick up or drop off children safely. Even though it's got safely in the bottom answer, it's no. It's for children to see and to be seen when they're crossing the road. That's the safest option out of both of them, even though the bottom one has safely in it. I do say in my videos, if it's got safe, safely, safety, shortlist as a possible, and then go from there. So for example, let's just say that was number 1, number 2 as an answer, and I ticked it as a possible. As I go through the answers, the children one is better, so I can always change it. So you can always change your answer. That's why I like the app so much. You don't have to stick with it. What should you do when you see an older person about to cross the road ahead? Speed up to get past them quickly. Obviously, speeding up is not going to be safe. Expect them to wait for you to pass. No. Stop and wave them across the road. No. You know, once you wave someone across the road, your driving test is over, to be honest. Be careful. They may misjudge your speed. It's going to be that one. Apparently, when you get to a certain age, speed and distance becomes a slight issue. What's the nearest you may park to a junction? If you didn't know, the nearest you can park to a junction is 10 meters. So that's what we're looking for. 20 meters, no. 10 meters, yes. 12 meters, no. 15 meters, no. Again, I'm going to give you a little hint, little tip. The 3 meters that you need to know, as much as I don't like you memorizing answers, but the 3 that you need to know off by heart is 10 meters. Now you know, not park close enough to a junction. 45 meters is where you place a triangle from a broken down car. but never on a motorway. And 100 meters is when you turn your lights on, poor visibility. So 10, 45 and 100, that's the 3 meters that you need to remember. You're driving on a single carriageway road. Why should you keep well back while you're following a large vehicle? The reason for that, so you've got a better view of the road. You want to make your own decision, not he slows down, you slow down. You want to find out why he's slowing down. So hold back so you can see the road. There's a saying, if you can't see my wing mirrors, I can't see you. That's true. So when you drive behind something large, a lorry or a bus, hold back so you can see their wing mirrors either side. Right, to give yourself acceleration space, if you decide to overtake, no. To leave a gap in case a vehicle stops and rolls back. The Theory Test is always going to leave you in a safe situation, so rolling back is not an option. To get the best view of the road, yes, that's the safest option. To offer drivers a safe gap if they want to overtake. Again, it's got safe in there, but technically that makes no sense. You're driving along this road. What should you do if a car cuts in close in front of you? So what should you do? Drop back to leave a correct separation distance. That's the safest one. Give a long blast on the horn. Serves no purpose. That's only going to incite road rage. Flash your headlights. Again, you know flashing your headlights is not necessary. It's only to alert others of your presence. Accelerate to get closer to the red car. Again, getting closer can't be safe. So it's to drop back and leave the correct separation distance. Why should you reduce your speed when you're driving or riding in fog? So why should you? Safest option. You'll be dazzled by other headlights. No. The brakes don't work as well. No. It's more difficult to see what's ahead. Yeah, because it's foggy. It's hard to see. It may take you a little bit longer to work it out, so leave a bigger gap. The engine will take longer to warm up. No. When would you increase the pressure in your tire so that it's above the normal value? Let me just read that again. When would you increase the pressure in your tire so that it's above the normal value? In other words, when you're going to put more air, when would you put more air into the tires to make it higher? So when the roads are slippery, no. When the tire tread is worn below 2 millimeters, no. When your vehicle is fitted with anti-lock brakes, no. When you're carrying a heavy load. When you are carrying heavier load than normal, you need to pump the tires up so it stays the way it should do to drive properly on the road. What's the speed limit for this road? So with the videos, if you didn't know, you can enlarge them. So let's just play that. So I'm going to let the video play right through and then we're going to play it back and work out what the speed limit is. Right, so it's going to stop there. So the question, let me just reduce that. What's the speed limit on this road? So let me just play the video again, see, make sure you guys are with it. Did you see it? Let me know in the comments if you actually saw what you should be looking for. If you didn't know, it's 30 miles an hour. How do I know what the speed limit is? Because street lights. Street lights indicate street lights in a built-up area indicate 30 miles an hour. There's a 30 zone. Where's the safest place to park your vehicle at night? So it's the safest place on a busy road. No. In a garage, yes. Near a red route, no. In a quiet area, no. If it's in a garage, it's locked up. That's got to be the safest place for your car at night. What should you do as you approach this bridge? Again, you can always highlight that, make it bigger. Notice the sign. Like I said, if you watch my previous videos, my lives, read the question, look at the image, and then go to the answers. Because sometimes you can get some golden nuggets from the visual clue, which is the image. So oncoming vehicles in the middle of the road. That's what it says. Right, so let's read the question again. What should you do as you approach this bridge? Change gear? No. Keep to 30 miles an hour? No. Slow down because there may be vehicles in the middle of the road. And move to the right? No. So that's the safest option. Why are vehicles fitted with rear fog lights? To warn drivers following closely to drop back? No. To show when they've broken down in a dangerous position? No. To make them more visible when driving at high speeds? No. To make them more visible in thick fog. Again, if you read the question carefully, breaking it down, looking for the golden nuggets. Why are vehicles fitted with rear fog lights? It's got fog in the question. Your answer also has fog. So there's a relationship, it tallies. It doesn't always work, but that's what you can do in terms of shortlisting your answers. But this one's the only one before getting it. It's going to be that answer. What requires extra care when you're driving or riding in windy conditions? So what requires extra care? Moving off on a hill. The wind doesn't really affect you moving on the hill. Using the brakes, again, doesn't affect you when using the brakes in windy conditions. Turning into a narrow road, again, doesn't affect you in the wind conditions. Passing pedal cyclists. Yes, because it's windy and the wind can actually blow them at the time you are passing. So it's going to be that one. Why has the tractor got flashing amber lights on? So let's again enlarge the video. Let's play it. I've done a video recently with the beacons. I'll leave the card up here somewhere so you can go and watch that video if you want an explanation about the lights. The reason why the tractor has a flashing light or flashing amber light on it, it's slow moving. Any vehicle that is slow moving will have flashing lights, but like I said, I'll leave the card up here, the link up here. You can go and watch that video. It explains in more detail. So to warn you it has a wide load, no. To tell you not to overtake, no. To warn you it's breaking down, no. To warn you it's slow moving, yes. Amber lights, slow moving. What must you do when the amber light is flashing at Pelican Crossing? So what must you do when the amber light is flashing at a Pelican Crossing? So must is again almost like a legal requirement. So stop and wait for the red light. No, you do not have to wait for a red light. Again, I've done a video on pedestrian crossings. Again, I'll leave that up here somewhere so you can watch that video again, get more details. Give way to pedestrians already on the crossing. Yes, with Pelican Crossings on the flashing amber for the theory test answer is give way to pedestrians already on the crossing. Let's read the others just in case. Stop and wait for the green light. You do not have to wait for a green light. Give way to pedestrians waiting to cross. No. That's the common answer. Give way to pedestrians waiting to cross. No. Let me just repeat. On the flashing amber on the Pelican, you give way to pedestrians already on the crossing. For a driving test, once they've gone, you can go on the flashing amber. But like I said, I'll leave the card up here and you can watch that video. It explains in more detail. So that's the last question. Let's see what we got. So there you have it. So hopefully you got some benefit from that. I always get asked what's the best way to study. That is one of the best ways to study. Start with 10 questions, build up your knowledge. You can do it either in categories or general questions. That 20 question was taken from all the categories, but you can just do each category in turn. So you start with 10 questions, 20 questions, which this was 30 questions, 40 questions, and build up to your 50 questions and do it that way. Slow and steady. Make sure you're gaining the knowledge. So hopefully you got some benefit from that. If you did, like, comment below, let me know what you guys want help with, and definitely subscribe. YouTube's going to show you a video here. I'm going to show you a video here. Go off and watch which one's relevant to you, and I shall catch you in the next video.